Hey everyone, so welcome to the new weekly forecast. This weekly tarot and astrology forecast will be for the week of June 29th, end of June until this Sunday, July 5th. And actually, I just wanted to go ahead and make an announcement. So I will be not only changing the channel name and just the name in general of this handle, whatever you want to call this platform, from Sacred Goddess 1111 to New Earth Goddess, in order to fit some other social media names that I already have out there. And it was just feeling more aligned for just like all the energies that have been going on, what's been coming up lately in all the readings. So be sure to remember that these readings are now going to be under the name of New Earth Goddess. But in addition to that, I also am going to switch to just doing monthly readings for a little while. It's just became a lot to do the readings once a week, and the readings can be kind of long sometimes. I know there's just so much going on in the world and in people's lives that by the time people sit down to watch the whole reading, they actually get the time to do the whole reading, it's almost the week is over. So I'm going to make it for the whole month. Can talk about all the astrological activity for the whole month, the energies for the whole month. And if you want to go a little bit more specific after that, can always book me for a private session. I've been really busy with private sessions lately, and that's another reason that I want to leave my time open to take those private sessions as well, and not be so busy with all the to-do of having to do a weekly reading online. As you guys know, I don't really get paid for these online readings, and so they are a lot of work, and I don't have internet that is fast enough at my house to upload these videos, so I have to go somewhere else. And with the coronavirus going on and it leveling back up, and just my parents being older and all those different things, I want to respect them and their wishes, and so I'm trying not to be out in public quite so much, and uploading these videos takes at least an hour with like the best public Wi-Fi. So that means that I have to be walking around in a grocery store or some sort of big public place, since I guess I could go to a coffee shop, but even those don't really upload, at least like where I live, like as fast as going to like a big mega corporation sort of place. Even then, going to a coffee shop, it's still going to be exposed to a good amount of people, and it's just not worth taking the hour to record the video every week and then uploading the video in some sort of public space for over an hour. It's usually more than an hour, and then doing all the promoting that goes along with it. I can help you guys, I feel like, much more if I just condense it onto 1 month, and you can reference it throughout the month, and it doesn't matter quite as much when you watch it, since I know so many of you say you want to watch it, but sometimes by the time you get ready to, it's the end of the week, and the reading's like 30 minutes, 45, hour long, and it's just a lot to commit to every week for those of you who are watching, and it's a lot for me as well. Once all this coronavirus stuff is over, hopefully it'll be a lot easier to get back out there, and hopefully I will be able to, I also live 45 minutes away from anywhere I could do that too. So it's also the drive. So literally this is like a 4 or 5 hour process every Monday for me to put these out. And as you guys know, sometimes it doesn't always happen on Monday because it is such a long process. Sometimes it's on Tuesday. And so it's just a lot of work for something that I do for free. And once again, people aren't always getting the opportunity to watch as quickly as they would like to watch anyway. And once again, possibly putting my family in danger and those types of things. So I want to honor all of that, honor myself, honor you guys, honor my family. And so I'm going to switch to doing monthly readings, at least for probably the rest of summer. And maybe I'll switch back to weekly readings once this corona stuff is all over, or once maybe I live closer to more accessible, powerful internet. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted for sure. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the weekly energies. And that said, I will put out a video for July. So I won't go too deep today. I won't make this one too long, since I will be putting out another video for the month of July in really just a few days. So we have a really big full moon lunar eclipse happening this weekend on the 4th of July. It's going to be really powerful, but I'll talk about that more so in the monthly reading. Since we're in eclipse season, all the eclipses kind of go together. But I'm sure the energies will come up here today in some form if they're meant to. And we're also going through a lot of retrogrades right now. And that's another thing. We're in retrograde season, eclipse season. So, being an empath, being a psychic, it makes my energy much lower than usual too. So trying to be easy on myself, given all these different factors. And once again, I know everyone has so much going on in their lives too. It's a lot to process. So be on the lookout. I'll probably get it out either sometime between July 1st and July 3rd. Definitely in time for the lunar eclipse weekend. So be on the lookout for the monthly reading for July and the future ones until I get back to doing weekly readings. And like I said, I'll talk a lot more about eclipse season and about all these crazy retrogrades that are going on right now in the July reading. But for today, we're just going to focus on this week and keep it short and sweet. Hopefully, I'm thinking can maybe keep it to just 15, 20 minutes. All right. So, just tuning into all of the energies. Whoever is watching, whoever will be watching, what do they need to hear? Okay, beautiful. So working with the crystal energy deck, and this is the first card. The first card is Petrified Wood, and this is very earth element energy. Dealing with our ancestors doesn't really get more earth energy than that, but it's kind of like the connection between the earth and the ether, because our ancestors have obviously passed on, but we are connected to our ancestors through the earth process, through living on this earth. We only got here because of our ancestors. So they created these biological vessels and epigenetic memory for us, and our story of who we are, which is really important. It's not the whole story, because our spirits come down with their own unique missions and identity, but it's definitely very important. So it's Cancer season, and we have Cancer Mercury retrograde right now, and Cancer is all about the family. So Cancer season is always a great time, and Cancer energy is always a great time to look at family connections and to just examine family relationships and honor our family and cherish them and nurture those connections the best we can. So this week, to me, Spirit is saying that we need to focus on our ancestors, on appreciating them, on honoring them, acknowledging them, and asking them for wisdom and guidance, especially as we go through so much as a collective and we start to birth this new earth that I talk about every week. The ancestors are there to help us and to guide us. Collectively, the ancestors, there's tons of them. So they've been down here before, they know how this goes, and they can help us navigate this realm, because like I said, they've all done it before. Also too, everything going on in our world, we, especially in America, we are really right now looking at our history, looking at our collective history together, all the different people that came to this country in all the different ways. And how we mesh together, what are our stories together. There's a lot of lies and there's a lot of truths there. And so we're really just at the beginning of starting to really understand and figure that out. And so, you know, getting to know our ancestors right now is a really important thing to know, you know, what kind of work we may need to do to really, you know, either atone for things that our ancestors did or to uplift our ancestors for the things that they did. You know, me personally, I feel very proud of my ancestors. You know, they came over here as indentured servants, and they were very poor for a very long time. And as soon as they got in positions of power, they really used their privilege to help others. On both sides of my family. You know, so I feel very blessed that my ancestors were really on the right side of history for a very long time, like 300 years. Several of my ancestors were really famous, big abolitionists. And, you know, that to me is like really powerful. It's such a huge part of my identity, because I feel so good about that, and it just inspires me to continue doing that type of work. And it's something that was just always taught to us as young children. So me and my family, we kind of haven't really been surprised with all this going on. We're like, well, duh. Why didn't you guys care about these people before? Like, we always did. We were taught that from early ages. But not everyone was taught that. Some people, you know, were just accepted their privilege, and they didn't really know what to do with it, or how they could do things with it, or they didn't really even think about it. And so now's that time for them to think about it, and, you know, maybe consider, you know, the part that their ancestors played in, you know, causing strife for other people, or, you know, perhaps helping other people uplift themselves and liberate other people, or, you know, if your ancestors experienced a lot of suffering, a lot of oppression, you know, really sending healing energy to them and thanking them for, you know, enduring all of that. So it's just a really beautiful time right now for us to heal collectively and to honor our ancestors for each of the, you know, individual struggles and journeys they went on to bring us all collectively to this point. And once again, to perhaps even atone if you feel like your ancestors are maybe not on the right side of history. So, you know, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just, you know, it just is what it is. And, you know, you can start new history moving forward with you. All right. So, let's look at some energies from the tarot to help clarify this crystal energy. Oh, beautiful. This is the Sun card. So just allowing yourself to be in the sun and radiate, you know, magic and love and healing and warmth. So, you know, sending your ancestors once again some love and healing. I know that's been a big theme for me, because once again, all this has made me realize, like, wow, like, I'm so lucky that I feel so blessed and like just honored and like impressed at the things that so many of my ancestors did and put their lives on the line, and you know, like really truly sacrificed their lives and possibly their careers and all these things to make sure other people who didn't have the rights at the time got their rights or got their freedom. And so to me, it's been like, wow, you know, like, that's such a beautiful blessing. Yeah, and once again, if your ancestors are people that you feel were impressed in this way or that way, like, you know, instead of being stuck in maybe more of a gloomy energy, like really radiate that love and that passion and that healing energy to them, because they want to see us all shine. And once again, even if your ancestors were not on the right side of history, or, you know, like, you're not maybe proud of the things that they did, like, you know, you can still be in that sunny energy and say, like, hey, like, you know, I'm giving this, through me, you can heal. You know, I'm healing your traumas, and I'm healing your energy and your wrongs by being in the sun and by, you know, being happy, and, you know, bringing in this new earth and this new reality of collective love and justice and freedom and peace for everybody. And, letting that radiate upwards and downwards. There's really no room for hate and gloom in the new world, you guys. We really just have to radiate as much love and healing outward, upward, downward as we possibly can to make sure that this healing really sticks for us all. Okay. Beautiful. And it could even be, that's like more on a world level. I keep channeling that way, but I think just because a lot of people that watch my videos maybe are focused on that right now. And so that's what's coming up. It's what I'm channeling, but it could be, even just reaching out to your grandma, your grandpa, maybe your ancestors thousands and thousands of years ago that were evolving, when we were all evolving in Africa, when we were, hominids, like honoring them for, just bringing us onto this planet as a human species and not remaining animals anymore. It could go so many different places. So just connect with it however you see fit. I mean, for some of us, it could even be our mothers and our fathers that have passed on. So, you can take it any way that you want to take it. However it resonates to you, for you, is how it is meant to be taken. So we don't all have identical journeys here whatsoever. So, just take it, whatever meaning resonates with you the most. Okay, so next I'm going to do a Moonology card. So this is going to, actually I'm going to do another crystal card. Let's get into a new energy. I feel like the ancestor energy, that's pretty complete there. Let's get a new crystal energy. Okay. Healthy boundaries. This one's been coming up a lot in my private readings, to be honest. So once again, a lot of empaths and a lot of light workers watch my videos and follow me and learn from me, and that I've taught and mentored and certified in different things, tend to be very extreme empaths and light workers. Far more so, maybe than the average person. And one thing that empaths and light workers really need almost more than anything is healthy boundaries. That is like one of the hardest things for us to do. Whereas, most people who aren't empaths, it's kind of the opposite. They have to work on letting their boundaries go. They have too many boundaries. They have too many walls up. They have, too many blockages and judgments and, things guarding them and pushing them away from others. But empaths and light workers, we are just empty vessels. We're like, bring it all in. I want to heal everybody. I want to feel everyone's pain. I want to transmute it all. I want to be everything for you, and I want to be everything for you. And especially sometimes in our closest relationships, we can especially be that way. The more time we spend with someone, we may even start to lose our identity and even lose our own wants and needs. We may start to convince ourselves that the other person's wants and needs are our own without even really realizing it, without, not even mentally convincing ourselves, more on an energetic level where we are just so open vessels and we want the best for everyone so much that we'll just be like, okay, fine. I'll just, I'll do this for this person, and fine, I'll just listen to what they have to say, or I'll let them say that thing to me. I don't have the energy to fight it. I don't want to fight it. What's the point? That's a big empath light worker thing, but it is really important to have healthy boundaries. So this is ruled by red jasper. So it's the crystal red jasper. And this is also root chakra, root and even sacral a little bit. It's like a reddish orange. So, root chakra and sacral chakra are both really great chakras to get in touch with when focusing on developing healthy boundaries, understanding where you start and end and where someone else starts and ends. So, definitely working on that this week is going to be really important too. And once again, since it's Cancer season, maybe especially with our closer relationships, our families, maybe in particular, could be, in a more positive energy environment, could be in a more negative energy environment, could be on any sort of topic or level. So once again, however it resonates for you, or you're feeling it does resonate with you, just take it that way. All right, and then Clarifier energy on this. Beautiful. It goes right along. Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is also an earth energy, root chakra energy. Pentacles are always earth element in the tarot. And Nine of Pentacles in particular is all about autonomy and independence. So in regards to healthy boundaries, as a clarifier on healthy boundaries, this is saying you need to have your own independence, you need to have your own autonomy, you need to assert that. Like this woman, look at her, she's in these beautiful red robes, she's surrounded by things that she loves, no one else, no one else is making this reality for her. She's not even really sharing this reality in this picture, and she has her money saved here on the wall or in her gate. She's in a gated she's always in a gated garden by herself in the tarot of Nine of Pentacles usually. And so it just means like having self-reliance. And if you really are someone that struggles with merging with others so easily, even though that's a beautiful quality for healers and light workers to have, and it's how we kind of are good at what we do, you need to have boundaries on it still. You need to put it in check every day, every hour, even maybe every minute, until you really start to master understanding where your boundaries begin and where someone else's begin. And don't just give your boundaries over to someone else just because you love them or because you don't want to cause trouble or anything like that. Own your own independence, your own autonomy by having healthy boundaries, and that will serve you and bring you lots of beautiful, wonderful things, just like the woman in the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. All right, so that feels really good and complete to me. I'm noticing that the camera, man, I thought I tilted it good today because I noticed last time you couldn't see the bottom part of the cards, and it looks like it's a little closer today, which is good, but still can't see the bottom of the card, so I apologize. I'm not really totally sure how to make it any better right now in this moment, so I'm just going to continue on. Hopefully that's sufficient for you guys. All right, and because these moon cards are a little longer, I'm just gonna go ahead and go into just one moon card, and then we'll do a mermaid energy to clarify the moon card. So I picked out all moon related, goddess related themes today for Cancer season energies. So the triple goddess deck is ruled by the moon for our tarot clarifiers today. Got the Moonology Oracle today, and got our watery mythological 5D creatures of the mermaids to help us clarify as well today. All right, so what moon energy do we need to hear or see today for this week? And these are very much cards that focus on our emotions. All the moon cards are, it's not really like what's happening in a very physical realm way, it's very much what's happening in an emotional realm way. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, beautiful, it's full moon in Libra. So we actually have a full moon in Capricorn this weekend. But I still think it's cool that it's full moon energy is coming out. So we may all be really feeling this full moon energy start to build as time goes on. I think the moon was actually just in Libra maybe yesterday, so maybe that caused some of us to focus on Libra energies this past day or two. And it says a win-win outcome is forecast. So that's really beautiful to me. So that says to me, any relationship issues that we may be having out there, Libra rules relationships, so this could be a really great time to find a win-win balance in your relationships, that where it's like, one person, it's not winner takes all. One person, makes out with all of this amazing stuff and is the victor, and one person's the total loser and loses everything. That both sides are gaining. And even if maybe your perspective isn't that at the moment, or you're having a hard time finding that, to remind yourself of this, that even sometimes when we experience loss or some sort of sadness in relationships, there's still always something there to learn. So find the lesson, whatever it is, so that it is a win-win situation. And perhaps once again, it could even be just in general, like really positive for both parties. even without a loss. So maybe some sort of loss there emotionally with relationships for some of us, especially during all these retrogrades. Retrograde seasons are famous for causing breakups and relationship issues, things like that, separations. So, know that it's a win-win situation no matter what you're going through. This applies for everyone who's watching. So it may be very obvious, it may just happen naturally, which is great, or you may have to search for it, which is great too, because wherever you are is where you're meant to be. Also, once again, this could be on the collective level too. So maybe the energies might become, more peaceful. This week we may see that, where even if maybe if it's not peaceful, we're starting to see, more of a balanced perspective and approach on all of this, where it's not just all bad, 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 gloom, gloom, gloom. You did this, I did this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, this is what we all, are experiencing. This is what we all want. This is what we want here. This is what we want here. And where can we find the common ground? Because at the end of the day, we're all the same species. We're all brothers and sisters here of Mother Gaia, of the same God. And so, whatever God you do believe in, we are all of the same spirit, of the same origin, or we wouldn't all be here. That we are meant to get along. And so we're just going through some growing pains right now as a species. And we have to sometimes maybe look for those ways where it's a win-win situation. Or work hard to create a win-win situation. Sometimes you gotta really put in the work, inner and outer, to make everything beneficial for everybody. Just, like relationships are one-on-one. It's the same way on the, more collective level as well. The micro and the macro are reflections of each other, always. Okay. And I mean that in a very general sense, not necessarily that your micro is a reflection of the macro right now or vice versa. It could be different because we're all, once again, on our own unique journeys. But in general, once again, any lesson that you learn in the micro level can be applied to the macro. Any lesson we learn on the macro can be applied to the micro. Okay. Mermaid energies. Let's get just a few mermaid energies here. Freedom, independence, and self-determination. So once again, this was a theme just a few minutes ago with that boundaries card, the red jasper, and the 9 of Pentacles. And I think it's very interesting. This card is very red. So once again, root chakra coming through even in this card here. I think it's kind of funny, freedom, 4th of July is our Independence Day, our day that we celebrate freedom from, British rule. And, despite our very conflicted history, throughout the ages, we are what we are, and that is our birthday, America's birthday. As the nation as it is today, so it was not perfect by any means from the start, from the get-go, but those founding principles helped us really build and evolve into becoming a more conscious society and a freedom-loving society for all people that we are today. We are the descendants of the people that were originally here. And no matter where we were on that spectrum, we were all in that same time period together. And, so once again, it may have not been the best time for, many people at that time, but those, growing pains throughout the generations have brought us to the place we are today. And we are a family, we are, a group of people living on the same continent that call it the same thing. And, so it could be a time to really maybe evaluate what freedom means to you and evaluate what that, idea of independence means to you, maybe once again on the world level, collective level, but also, I'm feeling this really on a personal level too for most of us out there. Once again, being empaths and healers and light workers, very often we take on too many people's energies and we get ourselves involved in all kinds of different things that we really are not meant to be involved in, or taking on energies we're not meant to be taking on, and we can really lose our health. We can lose our goals and ambitions and our true purpose by doing so. So it's really important to remember your own freedom, your own independence, your own autonomy and boundaries this week. And once again, it could be on any level. So, alrighty, what else? Let's get one more mermaid energy, and then I will close up the reading. Oh, I already have them out here. Okay. Water flight. Heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, and weightlessness. Beautiful. So water, water flight, very watering Cancer energy. So what I'm feeling is this Cancer, Mercury retrograde Cancer season is helping us all do a lot of healing, on a very individual level as well as a collective level. And, we're going to see a lot of burdens being lifted, from perhaps different issues we've been having personally and interpersonally, as well as on a collective level. And heaviness being lifted. So in order to move forward and to grow and be in that Sun card energy we saw earlier, we have to let heaviness be lifted. We can't continue to carry heaviness and evolve as a species. We have to really, allow ourselves to shine in the sun and to use our highest and best qualities to bring love and peace and healing to all people in the most, healthy and loving way that we possibly can. And then we also need to do that for ourselves. So once again, if you've been feeling too heavy from taking on other people's energies and, not, making time to have your own energy or placing healthy boundaries, you may be feeling very weighed down in your, relationships with family or romantic relationships or friendships. So now's the time, this week is the time to let that all lift and to allow yourself not to feel guilty about it. You're meant to be healthy and you're meant to feel light here on planet Earth. It takes work to do so, but that is what the Creator intended. We're not meant to come down here to struggle and suffer. Many of our ancestors did that for a very long time just so we could get here. And now we are the people intended to create the new earth. And the new earth is not meant to be heavy and strugglesome. It's meant to be light, and it's meant to be something really new and beautiful that we all can enjoy, and for generations to come. So we're the new ancestors, and we get to create something really beautiful together. And like I always say, it always starts on the inside. So the outside can only be as beautiful and as healthy as the inside is. So make sure your insides are super taken care of this week, you guys. If you'd like to reach out for a private reading, feel free to email me, or you can always reach out to me on the platform or any of my other social media. So I'll put all my information below, as well as what decks I used. And once again, namaste. Hope you all have a beautiful week, and I will see you soon.